Today we are doing lesson 6.7, simple interest, day 2. Our I can statement for today: I can use the simple interest formula to find the amount of interest earned or owed, the simple interest rate, and the total amount over time. So simple interest. Our formula for interest is this: interest equals P principal times rate times time. Interest is an amount of dollars earned or owed. Okay, so simple interest is what our formula is that we're doing up there. It's based on a percent per year. Compound interest, which is not something we're looking at in this chapter. It's like what credit card companies charge, that it gets added on, a percentage amount gets added on, and then you're charged on that. And then you're charged, your interest adds up. You're getting charged more interest on top of your interest. That's compound interest. Simple interest, it's just based on 1% over a year, whatever your percent is. And then principal is the amount of money that you start with. All right, so let's go ahead and practice using our formula. So here it says find each missing value. Interest, we don't know. Principal is $575. Rate is 8%. Time is 3 years. Remember, this percent, when we put it into the formula, we need to make sure it's in decimal form, just like every other percent equation. We have to make sure that that decimal is, the percent form is in a decimal. So we're going to substitute the numbers. We don't know what the I is, so we're going to put I equals our principal, 575, times our percent as a decimal, 8/100, times our time in years, 3. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and just multiply those things together. 575 times 8/100 times 3 equals $138. That's how much the simple interest is. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our next one. So here we have interest of $204. Principal is $1,700. We don't know the rate. Our time is 6 years. So we're going to substitute our numbers into our formula, and then we're going to solve. Interest, $204, equals our principal, $1,700, times our rate, we don't know, times time, 6 years. Just like every other equation, once we've got our equation set up, our first step is to combine any like terms that are on the same side of the equation. And on this one, that simplifying step means we're going to be multiplying these things together. So our 1,700 times 6 gives us 10,200, and then times r, because we don't know what r is. Then we're going to divide both sides by 10,200. So when we do 204 and we divide by 10,200, we get 2/100. That is the decimal form of our rate. That is not our percent. So we need to change that into a percent by either multiplying by 100 or moving that decimal 2 places over. Our final answer is going to be 2%. All right, let's take a look at a story problem. Avery deposits $6,000 in an account that earns 4% simple interest. How long will it take for his account balance to reach $6,800? Balance here means the total. That's the interest plus the principal put together. So the first thing we have to do is figure out how many years, because it says how long, so that's time, how many years it's going to take for Avery's account to reach that total of $6,800. So let's list our important information. Principal is $6,000. That's how much money Avery put in the bank. We know the rate is 4%. We know at the end of the problem we want $6,800 in the bank. All right, so we're going to make a plan. Avery's account balance includes the principal plus the interest. So we need to figure out the amount of interest, and then we'll use our I equals PRT to find our time. So the total amount was $6,800 that we want. So that's our principal, $6,000 plus some amount of interest. We subtract $6,000 from both sides, and that tells us that $800 is the amount of interest that Avery needs to earn. Okay, so we subtracted there to isolate the variable. We canceled out addition with subtraction. All right, we know our interest, $800. That's how much we need. We know our principal, $6,000 at the beginning of the problem. And we know our rate, which is 4%, and we do need to put it in decimal form, 400ths. So 800 equals 6,000 times 400ths. All right, so I'm going to rewrite that here. Okay, so our next step is to multiply everything that is on the same side of the equation. And when I do 6,000 times 4%, I get 240. So 800 equals 240t. Then we have to divide to isolate the variable. So we're going to divide by 240 on both sides. So we're dividing to isolate the variable. Okay, so we have $800. We are dividing by 240. And we get 3.3% repeating. Here they say round to the nearest hundredth. So if I write it out, 3, 3, 3. Nearest hundredth, 1, 2. That's the hundredths place. That 3 there tells me that this is going to stay a 3. So 3.33 years. Okay, and then we go back and look. So after 3.3 repeating years, which is 3 1/3, Avery's money will have earned $800 in simple interest, and his account balance will be $6,800. So it will take 3 1/3 years to reach $6,800. All right, here are 2 problems to try on your own. Go ahead and pause the video and try these problems. All right, let's go ahead and check our answer. So I'm going to start by just writing our formula up here again. Interest equals principal times rate times time. Here they're asking us to find the rate. 600 is our interest. Our principal is 2,000. We don't know the rate, so I'm just going to put R times 3. We're going to multiply everything on the same side of the equation. 2,000 times 3 is 6,000. So we have 600 equals 6,000 R. We're going to divide both sides by 6,000. Try to squeeze it in here. All right, and when we do 600 and we divide by 6,000, we get R equals 1/10. That is the decimal form. We need to make it the percent form, so that's going to be 10%. We move the decimal 1, 2 places over to the right and add a placeholder 0. Let's take a look at problem 2. Linda deposits $10,000 in an account that earns 8% simple interest. How long will it take the total amount in her account to reach $12,000? Okay, so the first thing we need to do is subtract to find out how much interest she needs. So when I do 12,000 and I subtract 10,000, I get 2,000 as my interest number. That is how much money she needs to earn, or how much she wants to earn. Okay, now we're going to put the information into our formula to figure out what the time will be, because it says how long. So interest, 2,000, equals principal, 10,000, times rate, which is 8% as a decimal, 8/100, times time, which we don't know. All right, we're going to multiply what is on the same side of the equation together. So 10,000 times 8/100 gives us 800. So 2,000 equals 800 t. Then we're going to divide to isolate our variable. So we're going to divide both sides by 800. So 2,000 divided by 800 gives me 2.5, which is 2.5 years.